voters struck from his jury pool is repugnant and morally wrong. So much for being judged by a jury of your peers. MRT's legal team argues correctly in its filing that given well-established law and legal principles set forth by the Supreme Court, Ninth Circuit, and state courts and legislatures, the Ninth Circuit should likewise reaffirm and clearly state that applying facially neutral justifications in discriminatory ways to target black women and other protected groups presumptively violates Batson. I couldn't agree more. For KBLA Talk 1580, I'm Tavis Smiley. We welcome your comments.
You ready? Come on! It's the Queen of Royal Badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
Well, good evening and happy Monday, KBLA delegation. How are you all doing? Listen, I don't know about where you all are, but it is raining here in LA. It is cool here in LA as I sit in the historic Leimert Park. We are dealing with the rain and the cold. So I'm happy to be here. I hope you all are having an amazing day. As I love to say, I hope you laughed today. I hope someone hugged you today. I hope you got to be still long enough to reflect upon your blessings and how grateful you should be if in fact you are not. I hope, like me, you had an opportunity to dance with joy, if but for a moment. Most of all, I hope someone told you that they loved you, and just in case they did not, allow me to send you all the love your heart can hold. To my friends in the thick of the rainy drive home, thanks for welcoming the joy of engaging conversation. Remember, we are here to keep you company and to help you power through the frustrations and inconveniences that can be rush hour traffic. To my friends who are still at work or who have happened to made your way home safely, welcome to the Raw Report. Indeed, we have a lot to talk about. We have a great conversation in store for you. In case you are just tuning in for the first time, or you're tuning in tonight and you're saying, who is that? I am Mischa Duffie. I host an amazing show called The Backstory with Mischa Duffie every Saturday from 1 to 2 right here on KBLA Talk 1580. However, in addition to hosting my show, for the next 3 days, I have the pleasure of guest hosting the Raw Report for my colleague and my friend Robin Ayers. And for Robin's regular tribe, she shared a couple of weeks ago before she left that two of us would be sitting in for her. And so she did not leave you all surprised. You guys knew that we were coming. So it's a joy to be here to sit in and to join you all. Welcome those of you who are in the chat. You have already started gathering yourself. Thanks for being a part of the conversation. For those of you who may want to call in tonight, the call-in number is 1-800-920-1580. That's 1-800-920-1580. Before we get into tonight's topic, I want to highlight a few headlines from what's happening in the world of Black celebrity. First thing up is Tyler Perry's new movie, My Copa. I believe I'm saying that right, Mia Coppola. Thank you, Andy. Mia Coppola was released on Netflix this past Friday, while he and cast have been everywhere promoting the movie. It seems to have not landed well with viewers. Why do I say that? Reviews have been damning, with Mia Coppola earning a low rotten score of just 17%, y'all, on the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes. They're saying that less than one fifth of the critics who watched it gave it a positive review. People have said while it might have started out as an erotic thriller, it slowed down to a damp relationship drama before meandering its way to a climax hinged on head-scratching twists that make little to zero sense. I haven't seen it, right? So I don't have an opinion right now, but it's never good to hear people say bad things about your film. Another viewer said it may have been the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Wow. Also in celebrity news, Ava DuVernay, keeping in step with movies, Ava DuVernay's latest movie, Arjun, was released in more theaters, allowing more folk access and exposure to her dynamic masterpiece. I did get to see that. It is totally amazing. If you have not seen it, you should. And then lastly, of course, there's always a lot going on in Black Hollywood and the celebrity world. But the last thing I wanted to lift was the internet and social media is continuing to celebrate Beyonce's historic milestone of her track, Texas Hold'em, debuting at #1 on Billboard's Hot Country Singles chart, making her the first Black woman to achieve this feat. They are saluting her with the Texas Hold'em dance. Have you all started doing it? I've watched it online, have not taken a stab at it. Andy, what about you? You taking a stab at it? Andy said, nope, I ain't got it. I ain't doing it. Can't do it. Yeah, so people are, as I said, just celebrating the song and what Beyonce has done with a dance. So that's interesting. Just again, watching that. So that's that. I now want to move to our topic. But before I do that, let me introduce Daja. She is our contributor for tonight. So grateful for you being here, my sister. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Wanted to, again, introduce the topic. So tonight we're talking about the amazing Fawn Weaver, who is the CEO of Uncle Nearest, a whiskey brand. And here's why I wanted to talk about Fawn Weaver. It's Black History Month. We're in our last few days of Black History Month. And it matters to me that we lift each other up, that we celebrate each other, that we, particularly those who have already gone on, our ancestors, that we remind the world who they are and of the good that they have done. And I was really struck by this story, Daja, some years ago when I first heard about it, but it came back up again because the CEO, Fawn Weaver, has been making some amazing strides with respect to her whiskey brand. But for those of you who aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, Fawn Weaver is the CEO of Uncle Nearest. Uncle Nearest, his name was actually Nathan Nearest Green. He is the gentleman who taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey, right? It's a phenomenal story. As the story goes, Fawn Weaver read about Uncle Nearest. She was completely drawn in by his story. She did her own research. She visited down south where he was from and soon found herself in love with the story. She asked her husband if they could sell their home, move to South, and as they say, the rest is history. She's been doing a phenomenal job introducing the world to Nathan Nearest Green. And it matters because so much of our history gets whitewashed. So much of our history is never told. So much of what we do in the world, white people steal it and never give us credit for it. So I'm just particularly excited about what this sister did. And here's where it hits into what we do here at the Rye Report. We talk about celebrities, right? We talk about stardom, we talk about Hollywood. This sister became a celebrity, became a star, became somebody that the people in Hollywood love and like because of what she did and honoring Uncle Nearest. So that's why I wanted to talk about it. Dodger, did you have an opportunity to learn anything more about the story about Fawn Weaver and Uncle Nearest?
About her, not really. I did actually visit her Instagram page. I've seen like the things that she's doing as far as just like building the brand, the scholarships that she's donated to, donating to HBCUs in the name of the Uncle Nearest whiskey. I'm very privy to the story of Uncle Nearest and how he worked really close with Jack Daniels to come up with the whiskey. How they tested it many times over just to make sure that it had the right taste, which is why Jack Daniels had such a very distinctive taste outside of other whiskeys. Yeah. So it is a very interesting story that, there's like a documentary about it, I think, on the History Channel that I watched a few years ago. So I think that the story is amazing. And I also saw that she is branching into cognacs. Under the Uncle Nearest name. So I think that that's super awesome.
Yeah. And to your point, she has, I was looking on her Instagram a couple weeks ago. She has an evaluation on her company of over $900 million. And what she said is that didn't even include numbers that the people who were doing the valuation didn't have at the time. So we're talking about a sister who knew nothing about alcohol, whiskey, or cognac, developing what it seems to be $1 billion brand just for the love of our ancestor. And again, I think that's pretty phenomenal. The first question I want to ask is, do you think we have a responsibility to carry forward the legacy and stories of those who left us?
Of course, because if we don't tell our stories, who will? As we see what's going on in education right now, you have book bans and they are changing history to make it more palatable or make it seem like it's something that it wasn't. So it is our responsibility to teach our children, to buy books, to read more, to learn more about our history so we can turnkey that information to the next generations to come.
Absolutely. And that, look, having asked that question, is there an ancestor whose story or life intrigued you to the point, not necessarily where you want to go as far as Fawn Weaver have, but just that made you kind of stop and dig a little deeper?
I mean, I'm an educator by career, so I teach literally every day. So there's so many different things. The latest venture that I've had that I've enforced in my classrooms for the last 3 or 4 years is looking up and researching affluent Black communities after slavery because they're not propped up in the way that they should be. Sweet Auburn is one. In Georgia, you have the Black Wall Street. You have Seneca Village, which was in the middle of which is now Central Park, Lake Lanier, all of these different places that Black people settled in and built up, and it was ripped away from them for several different reasons, probably because of its successes. But I think that it's very important for children to not think that Black history in America is slavery and then civil rights. Like, there is something in the middle there that they don't get a chance to see, and it's not in the textbook. So it's something that I make sure every year that I have my students research, and then they basically will pick a community, and then they'll do a presentation to the class on that community so that we can basically knock down a whole bunch of different communities at one time instead of just doing it one research paper at a time.
Wow, I love it. I absolutely love it. Listen, we're just getting started in our conversation tonight. When we come forward, more with the more from the Rye Report. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Denzel Whitaker, and I'm on the Rye Report.
You're inside the Rye Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black History. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Oh, this cold.
Honey?
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Now I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Meet Cheryl.
Hey.
She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Rob Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Indeed, you are inside the Rob Report. I will share, before we get back into our conversation, let me share KBLA Talk 1580 has released groundbreaking results from a survey about environmental issues and the impacts of pollution and climate change on our community. The poll provides unique insights into Black voter sentiment and preferences on key environmental and social justice issues. The results highlight that there is a direct connection between environmental justice, social justice, and civil rights. Equally important, respondents overwhelmingly believe that pollution, climate change, and other forms of environmental harm impact Black, Latino, and low-income communities more than white, Asian, wealthy, and coastal communities. To learn more about this new survey and our historic year-long climate justice campaign, go to KBLA 1580 website right now. At KBLA Talk 1580, we care about the community, we care about the climate, and we care about you being knowledgeable about how what's happening in the climate is affecting you every single day. Back to our topic tonight, we're talking about the amazing Fawn Weaver, who is the CEO of Uncle Nearest. My contributor tonight is Dodger. I am so grateful to have you with me tonight. Dodger, the other thing that really struck me, you were talking about what you teach your students and how you make sure that they understand that stories matter and that stories are important. And to that point, One of the other things I love about what Fawn Weaver is doing is that she has aligned some of our most well-known celebrities with her brand and with her company. In particular, Jeffrey Wright, the star of American Fiction, is the celebrity spokesperson for Uncle Nearest Whiskeys. When you go to the website, there's a video of him, and he's telling you all about it. I also saw him on a couple of talk shows just a couple weeks ago and last week talking about the brand. So I believe there's something to say about celebrities connecting their name to things that matter. And I wanted to just kind of take your temperature on just that. You know, we have celebrities who some seem like it's all about them. You know, it's all about me. Look at me. Look at what I'm doing. I'm the biggest thing. I'm the baddest thing. I'm the most important thing. But then you also have those who care enough about other things that are bigger than them. Can you talk to us a little bit about like your thoughts about that and how the responsibility you feel that celebrities have or even don't have, right, to align themselves with things that matter in the world?
I think that as a nation, we put a little bit too much responsibility on celebrity, but when it comes to brand endorsements and it comes to brand marketing, I can totally understand the why behind it. And it's all about being able to reach a demographic, right? So I feel like Jeffrey Wright is one of the perfect people to be a spokesperson for this whiskey, because I can say, like, I'm 34, so whiskey is not something that I was drinking like in my 20s. It's something that started like matriculating on my palate in my 30s. So I would like to see somebody more seasoned, somebody more mature. Like it can't be like a city girls type of a situation talking about whiskey, because that's just not the demographic. So I think that it makes sense.
I love that point. And listen, over here in the chat, y'all are not playing about this topic. What is it? Forrest Harrison said, I'm on my 5th bottle of Uncle Nearest. That is so freaking comical. Who is definitely on hold. I'm coming to you now. Welcome, Ben, to the Rye Report, Forrest.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
We're doing good. I understand you had a story you wanted to share.
Yeah, you know what? Jeffrey Wright is really one of my favorite actors. He's your favorite actor's favorite actor. And he is the perfect person to associate himself with this particular brand of liquor, because for those who don't know, Uncle Nearest was, as a young kid, that was his family's recipe for Jack Daniels. When you see Jack Daniels, and because back then they couldn't associate themselves to make the money that they could now, he became friends with a white guy, and he let basically Jack Daniels be the front of it. And if you look on a picture, if you Google Jack Daniels, you'll see a picture of a black man wearing a hat. He's the only one in the picture. He is the actual, that's Uncle Nearest. That is the picture of Uncle Nearest. And so fast forward to now, his family, everybody's taking their name back and their products back, or, like Wright's Beach, Bruce's Beach and stuff like that. His family went ahead and took over, they gave them the brand. Jack Daniels put out a brand for them, I think maybe 8 to 10 years ago, and then they went ahead and took it from there. And so that's pretty much, if I do drink, that's the only one that I use because of the history of it.
Amen. And I will say this, I was recently at the Geffen, and they actually had Uncle Nearest sponsored the play that I went to see that night. So they had several bottles of the whiskey there, and just the banners and all of that, and it just really made me proud, because it was a sister having her world premiere play at the Geffen. So I love the fact that there's connection and that there's alignment. Thank you so much, Forrest, for your call. Appreciate you.
Problem.
Thanks for listening. When we come forward, more with the Rye Report. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Lil Real. Right now I'm hanging out with Robin on the Rye Report.
More of The Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. An NBA Hall of Famer is being honored in Newport News, Virginia. The city is holding a ceremony to rename 16th Street as Allen Iverson Way, named after the multi-sport star from the coastal area. Iverson was the high school player of the year in basketball and football during his senior year at Bethel High in Hampton just over 20 years ago. The ceremony will be held next week. Controversial South Suburban Dolton, Illinois Mayor Tiffany Henyard is launching a podcast as questions surface about questionable spending and unpaid bills. She promotes the Tiffany Henyard on the Move podcast as the most entertaining political podcast ever. The allegations include that the black mayor and her allies are spending taxpayer money on first-class airline tickets, luxury hotels, and high-end restaurants. Dolton trustees held a special board meeting last Thursday where they approved a resolution calling for a federal probe into Mayor Henyard. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
West LA on the 10 East after Bundy Drive got a crash in the center divider, while in Mid-City on the 10 East at Arlington Avenue, a stalled vehicles taking up the 2 right lanes, traffic slow from 20th Street. In Commerce on the 5 South of Washington Boulevard, that's a crash that's been moved over to the right shoulder with traffic slow from the 60. And then Agora Hills 101 South before Chesborough Road got a stalled vehicle taking up the 2 left lanes there.
We've all felt the impact of rising food prices. For families in poverty, they're facing malnutrition and even death. You can feed a family for a month with your $50 donation to Compassion International. Just text the word radio to 97646.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Today's Black History Month sports moment. On April 8th, 1974, Atlanta Braves star Hank Aaron hit a home run off Dodgers pitcher Al Downing to become Major League Baseball's all-time home run leader. The blast over the left field wall in Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium gave Aaron 715 career homers, one more than Babe Ruth. For 39 years, Ruth had been baseball's home run king with 714. An African-American had become baseball's new home run king. Aaron had possession of one of the most treasured records in all of sports. Aaron finished his career with 755 homers before retiring in 1976. On August 7, 2007, Barry Bonds passed Aaron on the home run list, but Bonds' record of 762 homers is not recognized by Major League Baseball because of Bonds' alleged use of steroids. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough.
Do you support public education? More than 38,000 educators at United Teachers Los Angeles do too. Together, we have fought for a better public education for our students and communities, and having you on our side has been essential in our fight for better public schools. Together, we will continue to work for public schools with green spaces, more mental health staff, smaller class sizes at every grade level, and a higher investment in the Black Student Achievement Plan. We are UTLA, and you make us stronger. Hey Californians, are you ready to make your home ownership dreams come true? The California Dream for All Shared Appreciation Loan Program might be for you. First-generation homebuyers can get down payment and closing cost assistance along with a first mortgage to help you unlock the door of your new home. Applications open in April, so talk to an approved lender to see if you're eligible. Find out more at calhfa.ca.gov/dream or call 877-922-5432. A message from the California Housing Finance Agency.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on.
Who's got next?
And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
I don't want to give you up. I don't want to hold you up. I don't want ambiguous. I just know that I've had enough. I want you to travel with me. Let it loose and let your mind go free.
Welcome back into the Rob Report. I am Mischa Duffie, guest hosting for my sister and my friend Robin Ayers this evening. Thanks also to those of you who are live in the chat. Pretty Brown Mimi says Jeffrey Wright is a handsome man and a great actor. Indeed, he is. And Houston, Texas says American Fiction with Jeffrey Wright is excellent. The reason they are lifting his name is because before the break, we were talking about Fawn Weaver, and she is the CEO of Uncle Nearest, which is a whiskey brand. Uncle Nearest, well, his name is Nathan Nearest Green. He was the gentleman who taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey. And Fawn Weaver came upon the story and just lit it up, set it on fire. And now she has what is amounting to be a $1 billion enterprise as a result of sharing his story. Before the break, we were also talking about the fact that Jeffrey Wright is the celebrity person who has aligned his name and likeness to this brand as a celebrity spokesperson, and we're excited about that. Daja, I also wanted to jump into this. In a world where everyone is seeking relevance and significance and likes and follows, the other intriguing thing about this story to me is it reminds us that there are many ways to be relevant. Right? There are many ways to be significant. You don't have to, and this is no shade to anybody in particular, but you don't have to take your clothes off. You don't have to compromise your integrity, right? You don't have to write music that you aren't particularly happy with. So you can actually do something that really matters to your heart and that can change other people and improve the quality of other people's lives and also become significant. What are your thoughts about that?
I agree in totality. I think that unfortunately a lot of people think that there is only one way to the goal of being like famous or being respected or being financially stable, if that makes sense, or even creating an impact on this world. And it's always some type of a negative connotation, and it never really has to be that. And I think it is very important to prop up people that are doing it the way that our grandparents and our great-grandparents would deem respectful, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with the new generation, but you got to mix some of the old with the new, because we're losing recipes and we're losing a lot of our self-esteem and our dignity trying to do a little bit too much the wrong way.
Yes. Oh, my God. That is such a powerful, powerful point. You know, Daja, sometimes when I'm watching TV or if I'm on social media, I think about that. You know, I think about how we're losing so much of our dignity and how we're compromising ourselves in just such distasteful ways. You know, I was looking at, I'm just finished reading the book about the 109-year-old only living survivor of the Tulsa Massacre, and Miss Vivian Fletcher. And in the book, you know, there are some pictures, and some of the pictures have us dressed, you know, just style the way that our ancestors and grandparents used to dress. And there was always this classiness, right, about them that we don't get to see a whole lot of today. And again, people can do what they want. I totally get that. But I do believe there's something to be said about dignity and class and holding yourself in such high esteem that other people, particularly our children, look on us and say, I want to be that. I want to do that. And so I love your point.
I agree in totality. Like, I literally, my sister-in-law just sent me a video of somebody stitching to a post that came out on my podcast where we were basically talking about etiquette, and we're talking about what is okay and what is not okay, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable in certain places and spaces. And the word respectability politics always tends to come up, but I feel like people use it or misuse and abuse it, because there are certain things, like even based on our own standards as Black people, like it does not have to be something that is propped up in white presence, like, oh, because white people are here, you don't want to act like this or wear that. No, like, why is it's not acceptable for us, period, around us? Like, there are certain things that you just are not allowed to do, or you should not be allowed to do, or you should not be allowed to wear in certain places and spaces. And I think that we have shied really, really, really far away from that. I remember being a kid and just like having a headscarf on and wanting to go to the store really quickly. And my grandma was like, you better take that off.
Exactly.
And I'm like, but I'm going down the block. And she's like, well, you can put on a hat if that's the case. So now I raise my children in the same way. Like, we're not walking outside with inside clothes. Like, you're not going to wear a bonnet outside. Like, that's not appropriate.
Because, you know, even in the airports, you see people with
bonnets.
Yes, even in the airports, we see
I get it all the time.
Sisters with bonnets and stuff. And I don't get it. You know, I totally don't. Of course, I have no hair. I have no need to wear a bonnet. But at the same time, I was raised pretty much like your grandmother raised you. My father was in the military. He did not play about us being classy girls. You couldn't even, this was my dad, you couldn't even go on the front porch in your pajamas, right? As you said, pajamas were in-house clothes. Exactly. They were inside clothes.
You have in-house clothes. You have out-house clothes. You come home from school, you change into your in-house clothes. You take your uniform off. Like, there are certain recipes that my children we're not going to lose in my house. Yeah. But I just wish that is something that resonated across the board. I feel like we are too gun-ho on nobody can tell me anything, can't nobody check me, I'm grown, I can do what I want. And you very well can, but I just don't want your influence around me and mine, because we all understand that there is a time and place for everything. And there's certain things that we're not going to wear, we're not going to do. Like, if you want to put your bonnet on because you're going to fall asleep on the plane, okay, put it on the plane. And then take it back off. I don't understand why we're walking through the airport. Like, why
pajamas and a bonnet.
Like,
listen, Andy is itching to jump in here, Daja. Go ahead, Andy.
I can't do it.
So you mean to tell me
Go ahead, Andy.
that
Tell me.
you can't wear no PJs to go to the corner store because you know you're missing sugar for whatever dish that you making in the morning? I'm just saying.
That is dirty as HE double hockey.
Down the street. Come on now.
Don't be dirty.
Don't get to go outside in pajamas.
But come on now. You're cooking. You're cooking. You just woke up. You got kids. You forgot some sugar. It's literally like 20 steps.
If I just woke up and I have children, I'm going to take my pajama pants off and throw some sweatpants on and then go about my business.
Absolutely.
So you got to be glammed up just to go to the corner store?
Why not? Because here's the thing.
Who said sweatpants was glammed up?
Right, but here's
the thing.
So here's the other thing.
You're talking about laziness right now. Right now we're talking about laziness.
That's what he's talking about. But here's the other thing.
That is lazy.
That is lazy.
It takes 2 seconds to take pants. Put a pair of pants, even put a pair of pants over your pajama pants to go to the store. I'm sorry, y'all know I'm on the East Coast. I'm not finna go outside. I'm not finna go outside in the wintertime without a coat on. If I could put on a coat, I can't put on pants.
Listen,
you know I'm on the East Coast. You already knew that, though.
Listen, Penny Thompson in the chat said, yes, old school is priceless. I agree with your contributor. Adding old to this younger generation is much needed. Listen, I agree with you, Dodger. I believe what Andy is saying is lazy. I also believe, it does. It takes 2 seconds. Listen, I also believe this. I believe that when we let our hair down in these ways, it gives us a license to continue to do that. That's the one thing I want to say. The other thing is, I was always taught that you never know who is watching you and who you will see when you walk out that door. You could run into the person who could create for you the opportunity of a lifetime, but you're looking 10-card crazy and you could miss it. Go ahead, Andy.
Didn't even wash your face, brush your teeth. You coming outside and the same thing that you done rolled around in your bed and then you going to act like you going to put on a new pair of pajamas when you come back in the house the night before. You going to put them same pajamas back on and keep them on all day. Let's shy away from dirt.
Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
I just want to know what y'all wearing at church. I'm going to take it up another notch.
Okay. I wear.
Is it always classy? Is it always covered up?
Yes, it always classy. That's how I was raised. Always classy, always covered up. And let me just insert this. Right. I just got an invitation to a women's conference at a church this coming Friday. It's a pajama party.
Really?
And they're wearing pajamas. They said modest pajamas at a women's conference.
Modest pajamas.
Guess who's not wearing pajamas? Mischa, Duffie.
Really?
Yes, because I think that is so tacky. Who is wearing pajamas
it's cute
to
depending
church?
on what the theme is. If it's a theme, it's a theme, and I'm here for the theme.
Daja.
When it comes to church, right? Me and my grandmother, we used to get into it because she was very
I wish
old
you could see Andy over here. Andy's about to tear you up over here.
No, it's fine. He could try. So she was very old school, and I used to wear like these really cute like skirt suits, like a whole suit. But if I didn't have on like stockings, it would be a problem. But I'm like, but it's the summertime. So what I do appreciate a good come as you are church, and that don't mean that I'm going to roll up in there with a crop top on, but jeans and a nice button up, a nice blazer, a nice shoe, a nice sneaker, a nice flat. Like I'm not one of the people that feel like I have to put on, the big old hat and have like a whole suit on and my stockings and heels to go to church. Like I don't feel that anymore. But it is definitely going to be appropriate. I'm not going to wear what I'm going to wear to brunch, and I'm not going to wear what I'm going to wear to the day party to go to church.
Okay, so go ahead, Andy.
All right,
casual.
All right, one more thing. As a man, can I go to the corner store with a tank top, some basketball shorts, and some slides real quick? I'm just picking up some sugar because I got to make breakfast.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not pajamas. That's not pajamas,
That's
Andy.
not pajamas. If that's your pajamas, and if that's what you wear to go to bed, then the answer is no.
I can't rock with her on that one. I'm sorry, I can't, because for me,
no, because I know he's gonna try to make the point like, oh, but this is what. No, if you wear it to bed, then no. But if you don't wear it to bed, okay, and that's what you decide to put on to go outside, yes. Because in the summertime, I'll go outside with a t-shirt and basketball shorts and my little Nike slides too, but I don't sleep in that.
Okay. But what about, like, for example, I know people who live in buildings where, like, the corner store is literally downstairs from their building, right?
Yes. My corner store is literally less than 15 steps from my house. And no, I'm not going out there in my pajamas.
Wow. Okay.
Andy, Pretty Brown made me say you can wear whatever you want to wear.
Calm down, baby. Calm down.
Listen,
Mimi on it, because this is the important part, right?
Go ahead,
you have to be an example.
You do.
I can't do certain things because I have children. I have a 5-year-old and a 15-year-old. I don't want them looking at me like, oh, well, my mama does it, so it's okay. No, it's not. So I'm going to present myself in all ways that I want my children to present themselves as well. So I can't be a hypocrite in my own house. So, no, my kids can't do certain things. My daughter likes to go and wants to go run outside. We have a deck in the back. We have a balcony in the front. You better put on some clothes. You better put on some real shoes before you go outside. I don't care if you're just going out to the front yard. That's not appropriate. There are inside clothes and outside clothes. So I can't do that because I have to be the example in my household. So, no, I'm not going to do it.
I got it. Listen, I love this diversion from the topic. I just want to say this. I want us to really think about, here's the question. What do you want people to see when they see you? Right? When people see you, what do you want people to see? What do you want them to think? What do you want them to take away? Because for me, that's how you need to show up. Go ahead, Andy.
See, I respect that question, right? But if I want people to see me, I want people to see the human in me. And you know what? I don't feel the need to be on every time. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I don't want to hop in the shower. There might be times where I might not brush my teeth if I know I'm just going down the street or, you know what I'm saying, just downstairs from my building. You feel me? Now, if I'm running errands and I'm going from L.A. to Hawthorne to Inglewood or whatever the case may be, I get it. Let me go ahead and get dressed up. But there are times where I don't feel like I need to be all the way dressed up for your perception of me to make you feel like, oh, look at this individual or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? He's clean cut. I'm just running a quick errand real quick. I'm going back home. If them 10 seconds of you viewing me makes you judge me in a negative way, then I think that's unfortunate.
So I appreciate that.
I respect that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I respect that. I respect that thought process. But I think that we also have to understand that there are levels to just random clothing, right? I said before, like, if I'm about to go run out to the store, I'm going to take my scarf and my bonnet on and I'll throw a hat on. I'm going to take my pajamas off and I'm going to throw on sweats and a T-shirt. Like, I'm not saying that you have to go be dressed up to do normal things. I'm just saying that there are certain things that are meant to be in certain places. So, no, if I have on pajamas, I'm not going to wear my pajamas outside. Okay. I will throw a hoodie on top of it or
hold
sweats
that
on top
thought,
of it.
Andy, you got Dasha going. That's all I want to tell you. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, BB, and you're listening to me on The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're inside The Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
City of Los Angeles tenants know these facts about eviction and consumer debt. Tenants can't be evicted if rental arrears are eligible to be treated as consumer debt. Tenants who followed certain COVID-19 pandemic protections under state law can't be evicted for past due rent. Landlords can collect rental arrears in court as consumer debt, but tenants cannot be evicted if they provided a declaration of COVID-19 hardship and paid 25% of rent owed. Learn more at housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home.
LADWP is proud to partner with KBLA to share with you how to start the new year without bill worries. We're here to help if you're behind on your bill or need help staying current. Sign up anytime online for Level Pay to set predictable monthly payments throughout the year, including for past due amounts. You can also check out the special extended pay arrangements of up to 48 months to help pay down your bill. If you're a senior or income qualified, you may be eligible for Easy Save to receive discounts and also qualify for free and discounted energy and water saving devices. You can get up to $15,000 for past due water and or sewer bills and up to $3,000 for electric bills. But you gotta act fast. Funding is limited. You can reduce your past due bills and kick off the year right, because here at LADWP, we're here to help. Visit ladwp.com/cares today and find out more.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Rob Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back to the Rob Report. This is Mischa Duffie. I am guest hosting for our girl Robin Ayers. I am honored and grateful to have riding along with me the contributor for tonight, Daja. Also, our live chat tribe they are getting it in, okay? Enjoying this topic. Pretty Brown Mimi says, I know New York is the fashion capital of the world, but Daja is taking this dressing thing too far, laughing out loud. Houston, Texas said, this is one of those good ones tonight. Teach queens. And then Pretty Brown Mimi also said, I have inside and outside clothes, but I've worn a lounger to the mailbox. And Penny Thompson said, pajamas are for nighttime, not going out to the store. I want to say something about a couple of things that we've said. So to your point, Andy, we don't want to be judged by other people's perspectives of us. However, my mom and dad always told us, when you leave out this door, you represent us and you represent God, right? That was instilled, it's cemented in my brain. When you leave out this door, you represent us and you represent the God that you say you serve. And for that reason, I don't know any other thing but to come out the house a certain way. And it's not for anybody else. It really isn't. It's what my parents have ingrained in me. And I think of, I was telling my dad when I first moved here to LA from Baltimore, I said, people come outside with sweatpants and jeans all the time, right? And he said, you better not let me come to LA and catch you in no sweatpants and jeans all the time, right? Because again, that's not how we were raised. Different strokes for different folks, I get it. But let's take it back full circle in terms of our topic, right? Fawn Weaver, CEO of Uncle Nearest, we've been talking about her and this amazing, phenomenal company that she's built about our ancestor, Uncle Nearest, Nathan Nearest Green, and how it's just phenomenal. I mean, she just released the pre-order of the book Love and Whiskey. It is the New York best time seller already. It doesn't even come out till June. She has a movie deal pending. She's working on a vineyard in France. Her business model was just studied at Harvard, right? However, she would probably not have any of these opportunities if she did not present herself in a certain way. She had to come correct to get to where she is. Now, I'm sure she didn't wear a suit to every meeting, but she also didn't wear jeans and tennis shoes, and she definitely didn't wear no bonnet. Right? So there is something to be said about how appearance matters. And to that you say what, Daja?
I agree in totality. I agree that appearance matters. I agree that people are going to treat you how you present yourself. Yeah. And if you show up a certain type of way, sometimes you get treated a certain type of way. But it's not even to say that that's right or wrong, but it's just for me, when I walk out my house and I look in the mirror, I need to see something that I'm proud of.
Exactly.
Something that I know my grandmother wouldn't snatch me back in the house or leave a very nice, nasty message on my phone saying that she saw me walking somewhere looking crazy.
Yes.
So with that being said, I have to honor the women that came before me, and I know my mama and my grandmama and my aunties, they would never. I will never, and my children will never, and everybody else can do what they want to do with themselves. That's right.
And can I just add on to that? Y'all listen, the other 2 Sundays ago, I left church. I stopped in the store to grab a couple things. As I'm walking around the store, the lady that walks in the store, she comes up to me and she says, I just have to say thank you for the blessing of your presence in the store today. She said, your confidence is something I needed to see. She said, you look elegant, you're beautiful, and you walk around with such confidence. And so there is something to be said about our appearance and how it can be a blessing to other people. You never know who's watching. No, it's not about dressing for other people, but it is about being an example. It is about being a role model. It is about making our parents proud and set an example for our children. Listen, it has been wonderful. I have had a good time. We are out of time. Thank you, Daja, for your contribution tonight. Thank you,
You're welcome so
Chat
much.
Tribe, for being here with us. We appreciate and love you. Listen, up next is the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Until tomorrow, stay grateful, stay kind, stay safe, and stay inspired.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest.